This is Kristen with Crossing Timbers Equine. In today's educational video, we're going to go over the emergency dismount. Now, the emergency dismount is a skill you need to practice just like any other one. You need to be comfortable getting off of that horse quickly at the while they're standing still, at the walk, at the trot, and at the canter. You want to make sure when you're practicing the emergency dismount that you're practicing it with a horse that you're comfortable with and that can handle you coming off very quickly. Ideally, you want to practice the emergency dismount in an enclosed space, or if you have someone that can handle or grab the horse when you jump off. In a true emergency dismount, you are not going to hold on to the reins while you come down. You want to get yourself free and clear of that horse because you're dismounting in an emergency for a reason. Either the horse is bucking or there's some other reason, and you want to make sure you're clear in order to keep you safe. So the first thing you want to do with an emergency dismount when you're practicing is grab both your reins. You don't want to shorten them up too much because you don't want to ask your horse to back inadvertently. But you do want to make sure you grab your reins a little bit, kick both feet out of the stirrups. You're going to give yourself a swing and a push to practice that emergency dismount so that you can swing and push with your upper body so you can get enough lift to get your right leg up and over and swing clear of your horse. Now, this is something that I practice almost every time I dismount, even if we're just done riding, and this is how I'm getting down, to keep myself in that habit of swinging up, swinging forward, giving myself that push, and getting myself clear of the horse. So I want to come up, swing, push, and drive myself clear. So as my legs are coming up and over, I'm pushing, driving myself backwards so that they can continue bucking or doing whatever airs above ground and that they're doing that you don't want to be up there for. Once you feel comfortable doing the emergency dismount while your horse is standing still, then you're going to want to practice it at the walk as well as practicing at the trot. So next I'm going to show you how to do an emergency dismount at the walk. Now sometimes Sly cooperates a little bit too much. As he feels me shift to go forward, he will stop. So we may have to try it a couple of times, to see if I can keep him moving and walking so we can do it while he's walking. And he does have a tendency to do the same thing at the trot. So we'll see how they go with him. Otherwise, maybe I'll pull up one of my other ponies for a later video. Most of them, although I have to say, are pretty good, and they do stop when I go to do that dismount. But we'll see what we can get here. So I'm going to get back on up, and then we'll do one at the walk. When practicing emergency dismounts at the walk, you want to make sure that you're far enough away from the wall and that you keep yourself coming into the middle. So you want to be practicing that emergency dismount while you're tracking left, although it is a good idea as well to practice that emergency dismount off to the right so you get comfortable going both directions, because we can't always guarantee which direction our horse is going to be going in when we need to jump off. So as Sly is walking here, because I can control this, I'm going to make sure we're far enough away from the wall. We're not near any ground poles or cones or anything else. Swing my legs. Good boy. Let's try that one again. We'll bring them back around. And we'll give that one another shot. All right, so as we come lined up here, as he's walking, see if I can get a little bit of a better walk, kick out, and slide. Now you can see he was starting to stop there. Good boy. He was starting to stop there at the end, but he was moving a little bit as I started. I just had to go really fast, so we got a little bit of movement out of him there. If your horse doesn't stop, that's okay. I find most horses do when you all of a sudden launch yourself off of them, because they get a little confused. They're like, you were just up there. But not all of them. So again, when you're practicing this emergency dismount, make sure it's on a horse that you trust, that isn't going to start bucking and kicking the minute you launch yourself off of them. So now let's see if we can get him to keep trotting. Bless you. And we'll do an emergency dismount at the trot. All right, so let's do take 2. We'll get Sly up into the trot. Kick my feet out. Nope, and I still wasn't fast enough for him. Good boy. But that's the idea. Even though he put the brakes on and slammed down to a stop, that's okay, because that's a good thing. That's what I want him to do. Yes, that was a good boy. But it still gets you that idea that while he's trotting, I've got to kick my feet out of those stirrups and get myself off and launch myself away. So it's important to practice that emergency dismount, not only for you and for your muscle memory, but also for your horse, so they get used to you coming off. And a lot of times after a while, they'll start to do this where they'll just stop, which is a good thing, because brakes are always the number one thing we want to look for.